That negotiation with yourself. You know the one. Just this once. I'll stop tomorrow. Or, yeah, I can handle one drink. And then 20 minutes later, bam, you're using again. You beat yourself up. Why can't I control this? What's wrong with me? But here's what nobody told you. That craving didn't come out of nowhere. It wasn't a big bam all of a sudden. For 20 minutes before it hijacked you, your body was screaming in a language that you just didn't know how to read. It was sending you signal after signal after signal, but you missed them all. I'm Skye. Yesterday, I showed you why traditional recovery keeps you stuck. Today, I'm going to show you something that changes the game completely. Your nervous system has 3 windows. Window 1, it's where you catch activation early, when it whispers, not screams. And at that point, regulation only takes 2 minutes. Window 2 is where most people start noticing something's wrong. You can still recover at this time, but it takes work. Then window 3 is full hijack mode. Your brain is thinking offline and willpower does not work here anymore. Most people, they only know about window 3. They're trying to intervene at the worst possible moment. So today, I'm teaching you how to catch yourself at window number 1. And when you do that, everything changes. So let's go. Close your eyes for a second. Actually do it. I want you to feel what I'm about to describe. You're doing okay. You've been sober a week, a month, 6 months. Then something happens. A text, a comment, a memory, or nothing at all. It's just Tuesday at 3 p.m. And somewhere deep in your body, something shifts. Your jaw tightens, just a little. Your breath starts to move up to your chest, yet you don't notice it yet. You're scrolling, working, cooking. 10 minutes pass. Your thoughts speed up slightly. Work stress, money, that fight with my partner last week. And then your shoulders start to slowly creep up towards your ears. Still not noticing. 20 minutes pass. Now you feel it. Heart racing, stomach churning, hands restless, and this thought drops in like a bomb. Straight out of nowhere, you think, I need to use right now. That's when you try to use willpower. That's when you think, I'll just not do it, right? I need to use right now, but I'm just not going to. But your thinking brain, it's already offline, and your body has been already escalating for 20 minutes. You're trying to fight a war that I'm afraid to say it is already lost. Nothing is wrong with you, but you've been intervening 20 minutes too late. Your nervous system does not go from 0 to hijacked in 1 second. It escalates in very predictable stages, and each stage is a window, an opportunity to intervene. So, let me show you. This is where the magic happens. These are the subtle signs your body sends before you even register the stress. The physical signs. Your breath shifts slightly shallow. You might feel subtle jaw or shoulder tension. You might feel a faint tightness in your chest or stomach. Maybe the temperature shifts in your hands or feet. The mental signs. Your thoughts move just that little bit faster. You're feeling an early edge of worry. Maybe you're slightly mentally scanning the room for danger, relief, or escape. Then there's the emotional signs. You feel just a very subtle unease or agitation. Maybe a faint disconnect from yourself. Maybe even a little bit of early irritability. Not anger, but just an edge. The thing is, most people completely miss window 1. They've ignored their body's signals for so long, they don't even notice these whispers. But here's why window 1 is your superpower. If you can catch yourself here, 2 to 3 minutes of the right tools and your nervous system comes back instantly down. No overwhelming cravings, no white knuckling, no willpower battle. You interrupt the cycle before it starts. When I was dependent on benzos, I only noticed when I was already in full-blown panic, window 3. But once I learned my window 1, the subtle signs, I was having like the most slightest tightness in my chest and I could feel a sudden shift in my breath. Once I noticed those, I could react immediately. All it took me was 3 deep breaths. And that grounded myself to safety. And guess what? That panic, it never came. That's what's possible when you learn what your window 1 signals are. Okay, so you've missed window 1. Now it's getting harder, but the signs are a little bit stronger. Your physical signs are you're noticing your heart rate is noticeably elevated. You have visible muscle tension in your shoulders or a clenched jaw. Your breathing is clearly shallow or even held, and your stomach is tight or starting to churn. The mental signs are you notice negative thought loops are spinning. It's harder to focus. Urges are beginning to surface. Not overwhelming yet, but surfacing. And automatically you're starting to look for exits. The emotional signs are anxiety, agitation, or the irritability is just clearly becoming present. The disconnection is intensifying from your body, and you're pulling towards a pattern that's getting stronger. At window 2, you can still regulate, but it takes 5 to 10 minutes of intentional practice. You need to be way more deliberate, way more focused, but it is possible. It just takes more work. Here's what most people do wrong. They try and think their way out of it, or they try and white knuckle their way out of it, or use willpower to get out of it. But the thing is, at this point, your body is already activated. So you need to work with the body and not against it. This is where most people first notice something's wrong. They have the physical sensations of a full fight or flight response. Their heart is pounding, their hands are sweating, their breath is completely shallow or held, and their body at this point is flooded with adrenaline. The mental signs is the rational thinking is offline. Tunnel vision is happening. The overwhelming urge to escape, and you just cannot think clearly. And then the emotional signs. You might be feeling at this stage overwhelming anxiety, panic, rage, or even full-blown numbness. You're feeling like you'll die if you don't get relief. Desperation, urgency, intensity, it is all kicking in at this point. At window 3, your nervous system is completely hijacked. And this is the moment where people relapse. This is the moment where they break. And the problem is, this This point in time is where traditional recovery teaches you to intervene. This point in time, they say, just don't use, or call your sponsor, or use willpower right now. But the thing is, by window 3, your brain thinking is completely offline. Trying to use willpower at window 3 is like trying to reason with someone in a full-blown panic attack. It just doesn't work. If you've relapsed over and over, it's not because you're weak. It's because you've been trying to intervene at window 3. And the thing is, window 3 is a rigged game. So the goal is to catch yourself in window 1. When you do, regulation is easy, fast, and effective. The backup. If you miss window 1, catch yourself in window 2. It is harder, but it's still very doable. And then the emergency. If you end up in window 3, you need even bigger interventions. But the thing is, the goal is never to get to window 3. So now, let me give you specific tools for each window. Not concepts, practices that you can use today. The moment you notice your shallow breath, that shallow breath is where you're breathing right up here into the top of the chest, like, we're going to do this together and I'm going to show you what to do. At this moment, I want you to take 3 slow belly breaths. How it's going to look is we're going to inhale for 4 counts. We're going to hold our breath for 4 counts, and then we're going to exhale for 6 counts, a longer exhale. So we're going to do it now together. Ready? And inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel that. Feel your body. Notice the shift in your nervous system. And the crazy thing is, in window number 1, this alone is often enough. Your nervous system is scanning for danger. At this point, we want to show its safety. So, at this point, we look around right now. We look around and scan the room. At this point, we name 5 things that signal you're safe in this moment. It might be, I'm in a living room. The door is locked. My feet are on solid ground. Outside, I can hear birds. I'm breathing. I'm here. I'm okay. This quick tool, it interrupts the danger signals immediately, that easily. Physical touch signals safety. Run your hands firmly down your arms. Press your hands together firmly for 10 seconds. Press your feet firmly on the ground. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. This signals I have boundaries, I'm contained, and I'm here. So if we're in window 2, we're going to do this breathing for longer. So I want you to do this one for 5 to 6 minutes straight. Just the same activity. It's inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 6. And just keep repeating for 5 to 6 minutes. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest mode. Your body will start to downregulate. It's just going to take a little bit longer than the first round. This is powerful, so listen closely. I want you to notice where you feel activated. So maybe you feel a tightness in your chest and it's like hot or heavy. Then I want you to find somewhere that feels neutral or okay. Maybe your hands feel safe. Maybe it's your feet. Whatever it is, find the safety space. And then shift your attention back and forward like a pendulum. Send 10 seconds of your attention to that activated tight chest, putting your mind there, feeling it. And then spend 10 seconds on maybe your hands, putting your mind and your thoughts on your hands. Swing back and forth between the activated part of your body and the very regulated part of your body. And I want you to repeat this 5 to 6 times. Activated, regulated, activated, regulated. By this, you're teaching your nervous system it can move through difficulty. You're teaching it that it doesn't have to stay stuck. Sometimes activation needs to move. So, at this point in time, I'll get you to shake your hands vigorously. At this point in time, I will get you to stomp your feet. Or you can push against a wall with your full strength for 10 seconds. Make a sound, any sound, hum, grow, sign. This is the point you let it out. I teach my clients to just, at this point, I teach their clients to like almost shake their bodies like a dog that's shaking off water. I know it sounds silly, but I promise you, this works incredibly well. Cold interrupts your nervous system immediately. You can splash cold water on your face. You can hold ice cubes in your hand. You can put your face in a bowl of cold water or cold water and ice for 10 seconds. This activates the dive reflex and it forces your nervous system to suddenly shift. If you end up in full activation, call someone, a sponsor, a therapist, a friend. Use all of the above tools for 15 to 20 minutes straight. And then get outside, walk, run, shake, move your body. And don't do this alone if it's possible. Get a friend, get someone to come with you. But the thing is, the goal is not to get to window 3. If you catch yourself in window 1 or window 2, you won't need these emergency tools. Here's your assignment. Create your nervous system map, because the thing is, everyone's signals are unique. Your window 1 might be completely different from my window 1. So, get a piece of paper or your journal. Draw 3 concentric circles like a target. The outer window is window 1. The middle circle is window 2. And the inner circle is window 3. Over the next week, every time you notice activation, even just slightly, write it down. Window 1, early signals. What did you first notice? Where in your body did you notice it? What was happening when it started? Window 2 is moderate activation. When did you cross from window 1 to window 2? What changed? Then window 3, full activation. If you got pushed here, what pushed you over? What were the signals? Also track which tools out of the regulation tools that I gave you worked, and at which window did they work? What things made it worse? Were you alone Were you with certain people? Were you tired? Were you hungry? After a week, you'll see your patterns. As an example, my window 1 signal is always jaw tension. I always hold my breath when I'm stressed. My thoughts always speed up right before I wanted to break. So, once you know your specific signals, you will have your early warning system. And that is your freedom. Let me tell you a story about one of my clients. For this purpose, we'll call him James. James had been using meth for 12 years. He relapsed every single time after treatment. He said, "The craving just hits me and I have zero chance at that point." So we started to map his nervous system. We discovered his window 1 signal. It was heat that started to rise in his chest. That heat, it would show up 20 to 30 minutes before he even registered that something was going on, before he even registered a craving was looming. But he'd been ignoring this heat his whole life. Once we identified it, I taught him the second you feel that heat, that's your alarm, use the tools. 3 months after working with me, he called me. "Skye, I felt the heat yesterday. I did what you taught me. 3 deep grounded breaths. I grounded myself. And guess what? The craving, it didn't come." 6 months later, still sober. But sober in a way that he's not white knuckling his way through it. He's actually just regulated. And that is the power of window 1 awareness. Such little tools we have to use if we just catch it at that very early whisper of a stage. We've covered a lot today. We covered the 3 windows of your nervous system. We've discussed why window 1 is your power zone. And we've given you specific tools for each window, and you've learned how to map your unique signals. This is game-changing information. But here's the thing. Learning this is just the beginning. Learning this is just the beginning. Tomorrow, in video 3, I'm going to show you what life actually looks like when you master this. Not just managing cravings, not just by getting by, but what true freedom looks like. What it feels like to wake up without negotiating to yourself. What it feels like to trust yourself completely, to have triggers that lose their power, and to feel so safe in your body. And then I'm going to invite you to make a decision. One decision that could change everything. But before tomorrow, I want you to do this. Start mapping your nervous system. Draw those 3 circles. Start noticing window 1 signals. Practice just 1 tool from today, right now, while you're calm. The thing is, don't wait until you're activated to start practicing this. It'll build the muscle memory so your body knows the tool it needs when it needs it. You just learned what most people in recovery never learn. You learned how to read your body's early warning system. This is the missing piece that makes freedom possible. Don't underestimate it. Pay attention over the next 24 hours. Notice your signals. Practice the tools. And come back tomorrow when you're ready to see what true freedom looks like. I will see you then.